I'm originally from Ohio, and I'm a physical therapist, and I am 44 years old, got pregnant with my son when I was 43, and that's when I kind of really started looking into social media when I was looking for outfits to wear for my maternity shoot. And I didn't even know what a social media influencer was. And I started realizing that there are a lot of really amazing women out there who are representing their brand, but also getting things for to promote, to pitch brands, to do paid brand collaborations. And that's kind of what started the wheels turning for me on. Well, first it started off as I want free stuff for my nursery and I want free, pregnancy stuff. But then I started to realize it was so much more than that, and that my message was valuable, and that what my viewers and my audience wanted to see was the authentic me, but also how the products and services really related to me. And I think that's the art of being an influencer.
How do you even, did that happen overnight? How did you get the ball rolling there?
It did not happen overnight. I think like every other new influencer, when they start, it's all about mindset really. And I'm a mindfulness coach as well. And I'm very into empowering women. That's why I love what you're doing I checked out your YouTube and all of the promotional things that you do. Good for you, girl. By the way, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
So no, it doesn't happen overnight. So when I started, I was just, posting to friends and family. And then I started kind of defining what my pillars of content were going to be. And it was definitely motherhood at first, especially being a new mom in my 40s, because I felt like there were a lot of women out there that didn't know that there were another group of people out there who were experiencing similar things. You don't really think about it, but, I'm not in my 20s. So there's a unique set of circumstances around childbirth in your 40s. Everything from what kind of tights you're going to wear to how people perceive you, that whole real talk about when you go to your doctor and they basically tell you, these are all of the diseases that we're going to check for. And, those things are a different mindset.
What you've done is that you've really found a niche. You don't look like you're in your 40s at all.
Thank you.
Right. Crazy that you've said that. Secondly, that you've had a child at 43. I cannot believe you're saying this because I'm going to be 37 next month. And thank you. And, people are kind of like saying, are you going to freeze your eggs?
Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like, wah, wah, wah. I don't want to hear that. I want people to be excited for me. Why is there this social stigma that as you get older, we got to protect you from all of the problems, and it kind of steals that pregnancy moment away from you? And I was like, no. I still want to be happy about this, and you have plenty of time. It's all about your mindset. So don't listen to those people.
But sure, it is actually society that is always like, why aren't you married? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? You have to be in a certain type of way in order to fit in. But yet when you actually start looking at all these people that are telling you have to fit in, they're not even fitting in themselves because they're not even happy.
Exactly. And that was my message in the beginning, is there's a really unique set of circumstances around women that have children. I chose to master my career. I have a master's degree in physical therapy. I was the director of rehab at a hospital for 10 years. And I did all of that. And I didn't know if kids were in the cards for me. And I was lucky enough to find my partner who, we have this amazing child, and it's the best gift. And, I was at dinner with him before we got pregnant, and there was an older couple, and they said to me, I'm so glad we waited because now we enjoy it. And we don't have that what if, like, oh, what if, I still want to be sowing my oats and I still want to be acting crazy and doing all this stuff. Now we really appreciate it. And I was like, yeah, that's what I need to hear. So that's what my message needs to be. I want to tell women, you can go after your career. You don't have to listen to people who are saying, you know, aren't you a little bit too old for that? And you need to hurry up and get married. And all of your friends are married. When are you going to have kids? You know, all of that stuff.
It's so true. But what you've also done as well is that not only have you said, actually, it doesn't have to be like that. Also with the way that you look, like you do a lot of fitness, so your body's amazing. You know, you look super duper young. You just said you had a baby a year ago, but your body looks like you've just finished competing. So I don't understand what's going on. What's going on here?
Well, I was an athlete in high school and college. I ran track and did cheerleading and stuff. But let me just comment on that too. It took me almost a year to get similar, and I want to be very careful about saying to get my body back, because I didn't lose my body. I gave birth to a child, and it is the biggest gift, and I'm so over mom shaming and body shaming and body stereotypes, and you know, you need to get your mom body back, or your body back, your body back. And I just think that's a terrible message to send women of any age, that you want to nurture every step of that process, to say, you know, this is where I'm at right now. I have goals on where I want to be, but I'm not going to make my motivation body shaming. I'm going to make my motivation, I want to feel good. I want to be able to go out to the beach and the park. I mean, yeah, I want to look good in a bathing suit, but I'll wear a one piece for a while until I feel comfortable in a two piece. You know, you have to really make the best of that. So that's a very important message that I have is, I think women have so much pressure to look a certain way, especially here in Los Angeles. You know, everybody's beautiful. They come in by the truckloads every month trying to make it. So there is a lot of pressure. And that goes right back to my mindfulness and my mindset is, whether you want to be an influencer, you want to be a mom, wherever you are in your journey in life, is you have to stop and say, I'm okay with where I am. And I'm not going to let someone shame me into getting to the next level, because then it's for them and it's not for you.
It's all about confidence, and I think that confidence you can gain through self-investment, right? You know, through education of the mind, through training, whatever it may be. I think whatever our weaknesses are, we can actually, you know, make them better. And the more we kind of invest in ourselves, the happier we end up becoming, not only for ourselves but also for our partners, etc. Which leads me on to, you know, your partner. Obviously he's very supportive of you, but not everyone has that. So what would you say to those single moms, or to the moms that, you know, are going through it with their partners?
That's a great question. And I'll start by saying it's not like I don't go through it with my partner. You know, that's the thing about social media, is it's like your highlight reel, right? Everyone thinks that you have this perfect life. And when you're choosing your niche and your brand and whatever message that you're coming across, you know, you want to be authentic. And you'll probably see in a lot of my posts where I had a really hard time with sleep training, and my partner and I, Benji's his name, we've had some ups and downs, and I try to talk about that. But also, you know, you don't want to, my personal choice is to not air all of my dirty laundry. There are a lot of other people with social media platforms which makes them really successful because they do that. And I think more power to them. There's plenty of space for everyone in this social media niche market. But my personal preference isn't to do that. So to answer your question, my advice would be to absolutely invest in yourself. And I will say this, social media saved me when I was pregnant and after I had my baby. I met so many supportive women online, that people that I were looking for in my niche, that were there to support me when I was sitting in the glider for hours while my son was sleeping on me or breastfeeding. You know, that's what saved me. So I think social media doesn't just have to be a hobby. There are people just like me and you out there who do get inspired. So my advice would be, surround yourself with people that make you feel good, whatever that means to you.
Your tribe, your vibe, like whatever it is, you know, whatever your surrounding is going to kind of be a reflection on you. And my mum always says, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. I don't know how much truth there is in all of this, but we have to be very responsible with regards to our happiness. and you know, there's a lot of toxicness, there's lots of negativity, and it's very important that you take control of your mind and understand what's going to benefit you and what isn't, and also to be quite strong and to say, you know, this isn't going to benefit me, and that's okay, and I'm going to choose to walk away. And that is fine to be able to say that. A lot of people, you know, they kind of take the coward way out, but actually if you set boundaries, you're actually saying to life, not just to that particular person, you know, this is how I want to be treated, and this is what I want to attract. So make sure that that comes to me, and that you're getting rid of this because I'm not interested in this. So I absolutely love what you've said. So how is it being mum and running a business and being, you know, wife and running a household and doing things, like, how do you manage?
Right, that's a great question. And for me, the way that I'm wired, I want to complete projects as they come. So I learned a long time ago as a manager, especially working in a hospital, there's lots of hustle and bustle and families and people coming in and patients, and they have questions, and I need this and I lost that, and I need you to help me into the car. I learned to just, you have to be able to be easy on yourself and trust that you'll get back to it. And if there's anything that I've learned from my partner, Benji, it's scheduling. And I never really was a schedule-y type of person. So I think time management, if you don't know what you don't know, it makes it really hard. So if you can learn to manage your time, and if something doesn't fit, obviously, you know, my son is taking 2 naps a day now, and he's battling his second nap, so we have to transition to 1. So I'm losing that afternoon hour, power hour that I used to get on the computer and get stuff done. So I just have to wake up an hour early, or I have to spend a little time after he goes to bed. So I try to only put about 3 or 4 hours a day into my business because I want to be really present for my son. It doesn't help anyone if I'm, you know, kind of looking at my phone and watching him play. I have to do what I have to do, but I also, every single mom on the planet that I've ever talked to says that this time goes by so quickly. So try to be as present as you can for every moment. So that would be the way that I try to balance it every day.
It's important that that formula stays intact, and that is live in the now, understand the now. You can't control the future. You cannot. We do not know what the future is going to happen.
Right.
You can kind of prepare, but you don't know, right? So I love that. And you've said another point, which is top, and that is I get up an hour earlier. See, people are like, I haven't got time, but the joke is we all have 24 hours a day.
That's right.
You know, we have like multi-billionaires. Find the time. They've got the same 24 hours as we do.
Well,
exactly.
What's important to you? How bad do you want it? If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. If you don't, you'll make an excuse, right? And excuses are not good for anyone. But the other thing is, you had mentioned being aware of what your limitations are, or being aware that you need to invest in yourself. And a lot of people, number one, don't know how to invest in themselves, or number two, they don't give themselves permission, right? Because they're either supposed to already have it together, or they don't know what their options are. And that's the beauty of social media, is that you can see all of the different offerings out there that may be able to help you invest in yourself. And I think that's the biggest step, is saying, I'm worth investing in. I'm worth learning how to do something better.
Absolutely love that. Which leads me on to my next question, and that is, who have been your mentors? Like, who has been your number one mentor?
Oh, that's hard to say, but I would definitely my parents. I have a twin sister as well. And I get something equally different from my parents. My dad has always been a great listener, and he's kind of into energy and auras and spirituality, and that's where I kind of got that. And my mom is very nurturing and very thoughtful and very kind of mama bear. And my twin sister is, I don't know if, you know, you don't have a twin, but I can basically give her everything and she will give me everything back. So I think to answer your question, is family. Family is my biggest mentor.
I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, this leads me on to my last question. It's a question I ask everyone, and that is, if you had a magic wand and you could change one thing in the world, what would it be and why? And it can only be one thing.
It would be nothing. I wouldn't change anything. I think everything is meant to be there for a reason. We don't always know the reason. And I think that's where a lot of people get frustrated. For instance, today I took my son down to the beach because it's cooler in the morning before the sun gets really hot. And I was walking on the bike path, and this guy was yelling, "This is not for pedestrians. You're supposed to be walking in the pedestrian zone." And I had to cross over to get to the seat because I rollerblade in the morning with him and I need to sit down to put the rollerblades on. And I said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm just sitting with my son." And he just went off on me, turning around backwards on his bike and spewing all this hate. At 8 o'clock in the morning, he was calling me some stuff that I don't think I don't even want to put it out there.
Oh,
and then you could sit there and say that shouldn't be there in the world. But as a bigger person, I can also say, and this is a hard step to take, what must he be going through? Maybe he just lost his house. Maybe he's getting a divorce, and I was just the first person in his path. So I'm not going to take that personally. So I think if we can all maybe try to take a little responsibility and try to be empathetic and flexible and realize some of the things that happen in our lives may seem like they're out to get us, but if we can turn it around and say, what am I meant to learn from this? How can this make me a better person? And that way it kind of releases you from trying to escape or waving a magic wand, because it's never going to happen, right? Those things that you want to go away, it's never going to happen. The key is to increase your threshold so that you can deal with those things better.
Absolutely love that. And you are 100% right. You just never know what someone is going through. For him to be that angry at 8 o'clock in the morning, especially.
And trust me, I wanted to yell back, but I was like, my son is here. What kind of example would that be setting if I yelled back at him?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? It's happened to me. There's been times where things have happened and I've been very, very stressed. And I've got in the car and had a bit of road rage. And
yes, exactly.
And I'm guilty of it. So it happens. We're all releasing, energy all the time.
Especially during this time, everyone's under stress. Everyone's frustrated. The world is like the Twilight Zone right now. It's uncharted territory. So I think if we could all just have a little bit more love in our hearts, a little bit more flexibility, and try to be empathetic, to a certain degree. Obviously, if something happens that you need to deal with, obviously you need to deal with it. But I guess maybe just decreasing the knee-jerk reaction, trying to be more loving.
It's so true, though. I love that. I think that this was a wonderful way to end this lovely interview. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time in speaking with me.
I'm doing Kickstart My Influence, which is a 4-week mastermind workshop for newbie influencers. And I'm so glad that we did this interview, because part of the course is doing things like this in order to engage with your audience. You're an amazing host. I'm so honored to have been on this program with you. And you can spend $27 on all of those lead magnets and those sales funnels that I'm going to sell you all of these things. But my angle with my course is to try to be a cheerleader, to be that human component to really helping people achieve their goals, helping girls, stay-at-home moms, whoever, make it in a $20 billion marketing campaign for paid content that's available out there, especially now when all eyes are on the internet. A lot of us can't go shopping. So anyways, if you're interested, pop on over to my page and take a look, or shoot me a DM. I'd love to have a chat with you.
And do you have a website?
Oh yeah, it's jessicalynwhite.com. Or you can go to Zen Mom Life. That's my blog. They both go to the same page, Zen Mom Life, like Buddha. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, love. I appreciate it. You're amazing. Have a great day.
You too. Take care, my darling.
Okay, bye.
Bye.